Birra Fanelli is a beer based in Italian tradition. It is a high-quality, natural, organic beer passed down from generation to generation. The Birra Fanelli is carefully handcrafted in a plant located in Sorel-Tracy, Quebec. It is truly Italian quality beer. Thank you, Birra Fanelli, for your sponsorship. And now, back to our podcast.
We're back.
We're back.
With another episode.
Lisa does a dance every time.
I do a dance because I get
the arms up or wailing every time.
I love it. I'm a whaler.
Oh my goodness.
I'm a whaler.
That's a different podcast. Tune in tomorrow at the same time for another podcast.
That's the honeymoon podcast. Where we discuss whaling.
The after party.
The after party.
After party whale.
After party. The real. Yeah, it's real. It's keeping it real. It's where everything goes from beyond the vows.
It's a good one.
I don't know what I just said. I'm not even sure if that means anything.
I
But
don't
anyway.
know. Sure.
Okay, so welcome everybody to...
Wedding Chimes With Val.
I love this.
Hey, chimers.
Hey, chimers.
Hi,
Chimers.
It's so cute.
I love chiming.
We're back.
That's the other podcast, Lisa.
I wish I had a bell. Like, welcome, chimers.
Yes, that's such a, I think Steph
It's a
would be
bit
annoyed.
cheese, but-
He'd be annoyed with us.
I would. You know why? Because that bell would be loud
It
in the
would be
mic.
right in there.
And then as I'm editing and I would hear that, I would be
See, but that's how you keep in line.
In line and check.
with the bell.
Yeah.
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 Like a cow's bell. You put it around. Like,
No, all we have to say is no drinking.
No drink.
hey, whoa. No podcast.
Hey, wait a second. There's 2 people have a voice here. 3, actually.
I'm pressing the button. Do that.
Oh man.
So yes, welcome back, guys. It's
We're
nice
back.
to see you guys again.
Of course.
Of course it is.
It's nice to see you guys again, even though I saw you 4 minutes ago doing the other podcast.
We made fun of you. That was a hoot.
That was a hoot.
That
Quite a
was very
hoot.
hooty.
It was. I agree.
Yes. Okay.
I'm gonna
We're
have a
amused.
drink
That's
now.
all that matters. So now, today,
Yes.
at this very moment,
Yes.
we are talking about something really, really important. Like, not as if to say everything that was already done is not important, but this is
It's like the final touch. It's like the cherry on top.
I love it. I love cherries. Take
That's
it away.
another
Val.
podcast,
So-
Lisa.
Take it away,
That's
Val. No, that's
tomorrow.
the cream and cherries. I just said cherries.
Okay.
So
Take it away, Val.
for today's podcast, we're
Look
talking
into the
about
camera. Look straight in with the serious
wedding
face. Go.
favors.
Yes.
I love favors.
Yes. So again, clients ask me, Val, is it important to have a favor? What should I do? Should I DIY it? I get asked a million times. Okay. So my advice, I always tell my clients, do what fits your budget realistically, and it's very important. And I say this
So no favors.
yes, but I think favors are important because it shows
Absolutely.
guests the gratitude, like, hey, thank you for
They're
coming.
valued, yeah.
And also add something pretty on the table because you have your setting, your place setting, and then the little favor. Nothing crazy, just a little something so they know it's for them and not on a table on the side. I have to go fetch it. We don't have time
They
for
used
that.
to do that. It was
That
always on
was
the table
back
on
in the
side.
day, but now
Back in the day.
way back. But I find,
Way back.
but I find
Way back over by down there yonder.
But I find a trend is that because some, clients do one per family or one per person depending on them. So, because sometimes the tables would be confusing. Some people take 3, 4 at a time, but no one takes one. Anyway, so you put it in front of them.
Those are the drinkers.
It's something cute. It's something nice to add. So I think it goes a long way. So I always tell them, budget is important because some favors could get very pricey. Like they could go up in price. Some depends what your theme is. It really depends the theme, what the overall vibe you're going for, everything. So for example, if you're having, let's say, a garden party theme wedding, you could do like, let's say, a little plant or something cute like that. That's something nice, right? Or you could always do your traditional candle, cork opening set, whatever, a serving dish, a mug, you name it. You could do whatever. But I always say keep it to something small and not too bulky because then they have to lug that home with them. And if they're coming from out of town, well,
Yeah.
another thing in the suitcase you have to pack and squish in and hope it doesn't break. And what I'm seeing more and more of are like a lot of some clients are like DIYing it, and let's say they want to make their own, let's say syrup to pour in a drink example, they can make themselves, or there's a lot of local companies that do that for you and they label it and everything already. So it could be very cute like that, depending on your theme. Like for my wedding, I did like, because the theme was Alice in Wonderland. So we did like, because at one point in the movie she drinks a potion, I think, to get taller. I forget. Anyway, so we copied that potion. It was like dark purple, and it was actually a syrup to pour in a drink to make it like purpley. And I got the little like the little tag saying "Thank you, come to wedding" from Etsy. So I got it made here locally in Montreal, and the company, I have to shout it out, is Montreal Craft Cocktail. Super nice. She does an amazing job at it.
They make alcohol?
Syrups. So like
Don't get excited.
she does like syrup. She holds bartending classes as well,
I love her
mixology.
already.
So she's really
I'd love to take
she's amazing at what she does, and she was really helpful. And I gave her an idea, and she's like, "Oh, I offer this, that, whatever." But the thing is, do something that makes sense for your wedding.
True.
Like, don't just pick something because it's pretty. Like, because remember, everything from the save the date to the table setting to the decorations all have to tie in.
Yeah.
So I even seen some people give like the preserved roses, the forever rose, they have a little thing. So that's cute too, you know, it lasts up to 4 years. So, you know, you put your little monogram, thank you for coming, and that's
That's
it.
up to 4 years. After 4 years, it's expired.
So that's the thing too.
If the wedding lasts that long.
So there's so
It's true.
The marriage
There's
lasts
so
that
The
many
long.
marriage
things.
lasts that long, yeah.
there's so many things you could do.
They don't listen to the husband.
There you go.
Yeah.
What?
Problem solved.
There you go.
But
You're gonna expire like this rose.
expire 4 years. Chop, chop.
Well, you know what? I was
Time is
actually
ticking.
sorry. This is funny. I was playing at the casino in Ottawa, so I'm playing there, and there was a guy sitting in the front. He's looking, and I'm like, I think I recognize him, but I'm not 100%
Okay.
sure.
Did he give you a rose?
We take a break,
your rose?
and my brother was there, so we take a break, and he looks at me, he goes, "You played my wedding 12 years ago."
No way.
Yeah, and I said, "Oh, cool, man." And
He
he's
had
like,
no idea who he was.
and then he
What
goes,
are the chances? Okay.
and then he goes, "Oh, this happens to me like every single weekend."
So you're popular. Everyone knows
Well, I've been doing weddings for
Well, you've been-
literally
yeah.
30 years.
you. Well, okay, so
So
Makes sense.
And the thing, he goes, "You did my wedding 12 years ago." I'm not with her anymore, but still, you guys were really good at the wedding. And I was like, "Okay, cool, thanks."
fair enough. I'd be like, thank you for remembering me. So
Thanks for the reminder.
thanks,
Yeah.
thanks.
They
by
totally
the way.
remembered, yeah. it's
But
funny.
back to favors.
Yes, sorry.
Yeah.
It's you could do whatever you want, but one thing, some venues, it depends the venue. Just keep in mind, some venues don't allow alcohol in the venue because they have a permit, because their permit is to serve alcohol and not for you. And
Yeah.
just because
it needs to be stamped.
yeah,
Yeah.
not even, they won't even allow some venues to be safe.
Well, they won't allow it because it's not
Yeah,
stamped
exactly.
by
and
the SAQ.
The
It has to
whole,
be.
there's a whole process.
Yeah,
It's
of course.
complicated.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could literally spend $40
Yeah.
to get an alcohol permit, but you have to buy it from the SAQ.
And I even know
That's
sometimes, and I could be wrong, every venue is, and it's important to ask, because some venues, even if you go all the paperwork, it goes against their permit. So it's like permit, it's this whole, that's what
Yeah.
one of the venue,
Because it's either you buy it from them
Yeah.
or fuck off.
basically,
Sorry.
indirectly. So
And I
that's,
get it.
So that's another thing too, to ask your venue what you
Yeah.
permit. Like
Sure.
some venues don't care, they're like, oh, whatever. But
Yeah.
some care
Yeah.
a lot,
Yeah.
which makes sense. It is your venue. So
Yeah.
always ask what's permitted. Like, are you allowed to bring certain items? You know, don't always ask before you purchase.
Yeah.
Always ask, because you don't know. And ask your wedding planner, because they'll probably know what,
Yeah.
you know, to be able to guide you. What I like to see too, sometimes they have like a little thing of oil and like vinegar.
I was just going to say
It's
that.
cute.
Nice.
I haven't seen much of that this year, but it's a cute little like.
I like that.
And it's fancy oil too. It's not like, it's like little
Yeah.
like spices, like hot chili oil or basil.
I
Like,
had chili oil
It's
tonight,
cute,
actually.
yeah.
At dinner, I had the chili
but
oil
it's
from
so,
one of those.
It could be practical too. Like
It's fucking
like,
awesome.
It could be very handy, you know.
Yeah.
And I remember once way back, I forget, for it was in a wedding. This was before I planned weddings. I forget what event I went to. They bought it at Costco, the little packs. So they got it because they had a membership to people, and then that's what they gave at. So like you could do something like that too. No one's gonna know where you got it from. You know, like it's no one's business, right? And that's another thing too. You do what's best for you and your budget and what you want them to remember your wedding by.
Yeah.
Do you want to be remembered as the wedding that gave out the little drink mixers or the oil or the candle for
Yeah.
the millionth time? Or
Tray.
there's too many candles are nice, but if you get a candle, don't get a generic one from Amazon because they're very basic and they smell like nothing. And that's the thing. It's less expensive, but what I always recommend my clients if they want something more personalized, there's a lot of candle companies local in Montreal. A lot of them on Instagram. They have like Etsy shops, and they could actually customize the smell for you, and you could actually go there and smell the candles.
Oh, nice.
And they do it's a whole thing. And I'm like, if I were to do a candle, which I didn't, because I didn't want to see another candle, but that's me.
Enough.
I'm good because I'm the one setting up the dying candles, you know.
Yeah.
But if you are into candles, like there's a lot of great companies in Montreal based, and apparently they're made of soya wax, so they're healthier, and you know they're not so toxic.
Yeah.
So that's one thing you could do, is to get it locally made if you're into that. You know, there's so many things you could do that are local that won't charge you the shipping and handling, and because at some website you have to buy a minimum of 200, but if you're only 100 people or 120, what are you gonna do with the remainder? You know, so
You
have-
pile it in your basement.
and you exactly that, or you
You give it as Christmas
I was
gift.
gonna say Merry Christmas again. You just saw me, if you know. So that's another thing too. And some couples that don't want to give a favor, that's okay too. That's a personal choice. I even know some couples as a favor they give, like, you know, those foam sticks with their name on it, so everyone gets one too.
Oh, nice.
So it's not on your table, but you get to keep one if you want to keep one. You know. So there's so many things you could do, like shot glasses. I saw.
Can I
not
tell you the
many.
I
most
like that.
original that I've seen?
I've seen shot glasses, which was they got it engraved with
I
their
like
name.
that.
And because sometimes at weddings I keep one or two because I'm like, it's for me.
'Cause
And
why not?
I planned this thing. I think I
Yeah.
deserve a little shot glass.
That's
Thank you
right.
very much.
Can I
Fill
tell you
it, please.
the most original one that I've seen, and it was I found it really cool
Yeah,
because
shoot, yeah.
let's face it, 99% of this no one uses whatever
No,
you get
no,
ever.
it's more to look good on your
Yeah.
shelf.
This one was a little picture frame.
Okay.
In the picture frame was a scratchy,
Nice.
like a lotto.
That's so okay.
right,
That's
so you have the
interesting,
picture
yeah.
frame that you can use.
You could reuse it.
And
yeah.
if you fucking win $1,000 or $100
Yeah,
or
hey.
something, it's like, you know, pretty cool,
Nice.
right?
That's-
Rake back what you put in the booster.
Well,
you go.
you know, it's cool. If you win, you win.
Hey.
If you don't, you don't. But whatever.
I like the
And that's
concept.
interesting too, because you know your crowd, right?
Exactly.
So if you know your crowd likes that, go for it. But again, you should know your guests too to give
Yeah.
an. But I like that. That's so unique.
It's
Very
unique,
nice.
and you know
And,
what? It
yeah.
could be something more than it
You
actually
could
is.
literally
Right?
win like $1,000. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
you know.
Get
but,
married again.
And that's one thing too. I tell my couples is make sure you know your crowd well,
Yeah.
because you don't want anyone to get offended, right? You don't want anyone to feel like, oh, you know, just know them overall. Get a safe gift like the frame you could reuse, the scratchy.
Yeah, don't
If
get
you-
like a
yeah.
vibrator or something for all the women. It doesn't
So
work. Someone might get
definitely-
upset. Imagine,
Definitely
imagine the people's
Yes,
This is a
face.
blue dolphin.
get
You
something.
can use it as a flashlight.
How do you know these names?
Get something appropriate. That's overall for everyone.
Oh
But
my
one
God.
thing, I've seen so many salt and pepper shakers.
Yeah,
like that's,
God.
I feel that could be over. But hey, it depends on you what you want to give, you know. But also keep in mind the gifts could be, they could go up, like it could get costly.
Yeah,
So
it's
don't be surprised if you're spending like $500 on like little gifts, because
Oh,
it
you're
could-
lucky if it's
You're
only
lucky,
that.
yeah.
You're
it's that's
super lucky.
That's at the minimum, but
Yeah.
again, for some you might be surprised if it's your first time looking for favors and it goes up.
It's usually like $3 to
Yeah.
$8, $9
Yeah,
each
it
one.
depends too, and that's what I'm saying. Get something local with low shipping, or even from
Yeah.
Ontario, you're not paying that, or even go to the States and buy it, you know, and bring
Yeah.
it back, you know, because it could add up. And
Oh,
with
yeah.
all the other expenses you're gonna be spending too on,
Imagine you go buy stolen goods. You find a guy on the street. I'll buy 100 of those cameras.
donut. And one thing too
Half
is
your family's arrested.
speaking about cameras, I'm happy you mentioned it. What I'm seeing more and more online, and I'm like, I don't know. So
Polaroids.
no, so what people do is
The
they
mini
buy
ones.
the disposable cameras.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the one that prints out, like the actual like camera, like
The Kodak
Oh,
one.
yeah, the
Okay.
Kodak. And they place one at each like table, or each person gets one.
Uh-huh.
So everyone at the wedding has one, and then they have like a little sign saying, "Please take a picture," type of thing. So then they take a picture, and then in the thank you card they give it back, the printed picture sometimes.
Okay.
So
okay.
like that's
pretty
like,
cool.
and another thing about pictures is I've seen some couples do this, and I'm like, this could work. So you get an empty frame, so not at your table, but they have a photo booth. And some photo booths allow you to print pictures. Some do, some you have to go to the right company to do that. So they have a frame. So they print two. So one's for the bride and groom in their book, like the book, the album, and when you put in a frame, so you get a picture with all your family at the wedding, at the photo booth. So that's a different take on a favor too. Like,
That's pretty
it's
cool,
one,
yeah.
Nice, I
it's
like
one
that too.
per family though, but you have to tell the attendant or whoever is running the photo booth, like it's one per family. Make sure no one takes advantage of that. So they print two. One is for them to keep, and one is for the bride and groom in the picture book, and you sign it. So that's something. It's like a whole
nice.
family picture you take, or you can even take it with the bride and groom or whoever, and you always have that in a frame, and you can reuse the frame, whatever. So it could be cute, and the frame says thank you for coming, like the little bow, whatever, like sign. So that. A different take, not every table, like it's not gonna be at the table, but it's for the photo booth. But you have to remind the DJ, remind them, saying, hey, to take your, because it's more traditional, and it's, less traditional to do it that way, because some people are used to on the table, a little candle.
Or given when you give the envelope,
exactly.
they give
But
you.
more and more people, I find, are not really doing a receiving line anymore.
I was just gonna say that.
So I know the wedding I'm doing Sunday, they're doing a receiving line, and that's the first one I ever did, because some couples don't do that. But what we're doing to save time is we're doing the receiving line, but the favors are going to be at the table just to save the time, because it could be quite lengthy. And for that wedding, actually, she's giving like tequila in like little mini bottles.
Now we're talking. You see, she knows I'm coming to that wedding.
I'll give you that.
It's a mini one.
Yeah, it's a little one.
Not a bottle.
But if I get a numerous mini ones,
Takes the whole time.
He's gonna go and rob the tables of like the mini bouquets.
what's the couple's name?
But
You're gonna put out a picture, wanted.
Wanted.
You see me with a bag walking in. What? What's
the
wrong?
back door.
That's it.
Oh, man.
And let me know if they have McDonald's at the suite table.
I'll let you know. I don't
Okay.
think they are. No, we're not doing it. But that's one trend. So I find that's less traditional, because some guests are elder and they're used to a certain way. But a lot of couples are doing more modern things. Something more interactive, like the photo booth one, or
It's
something,
nice.
or something you could actually use, like the chili oil. You could actually if you want to add a little zest in your cooking, add that.
A little zest.
It's true. I'm just
Wanna burn
saying.
your tongue.
If you want a kick in your food, just put a bit of the chili oil.
Give you a free kick myself.
But definitely, I find more and more weddings that I do, like you do what you want, what makes sense to you. That's the best advice.
Yeah.
But I always suggest you could do this. I've seen this work well, but that didn't work well. Some favors I've seen are not candles, but candles actually. There were candles. No one took them.
Well, that's the
So
thing.
that's the thing. Like, you want something that people will take. Some people took extras because they're like, it's on the table, I'm going to take it.
My
you
lights
know?
go out often,
So that's the thing. But I think the most original one that I've seen were the foam sticks for the dance floor. The photo booth one. Mine I find was a little original. I haven't seen that. And I liked the one I did too. It was like a plastic like wine bottle, but inside was like a corkscrew like thing for wine.
Nice.
that's
I
So
like
it
that one.
came. It was like a mini wine bottle, but it was like hard plastic, and they put the label in a ribbon, and that was actually really practical
like
because you could actually use it. So that's practical. There were a bit again, you get at a bulk price, and there's a lot of bombonier shops, favorite shops, but I find those could be a bit outdated too.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. You pick where you want to go get it, because there's a lot of shops in Montreal that have they order this.
How many espresso cups do I have
Oh
from
my
weddings
goodness!
that
I
I've
was
been
gonna
to?
say
I still have them wrapped. Some of them. I
my
didn't even open
grandmother,
them.
my nonna, I don't know the amount of weddings she's been to. She always gets something new. So when I moved out, she's like, hey, I have 30 platters. Do you want one? I'm like, I'll take a platter from you.
Sure.
Pass it on over. My mom too. So that's the thing. Get something that's practical that won't take up too much room in case that someone's traveling, especially a destination wedding. You know, get something cute, nice, memorable, like destination. You get little seashells, whatever, you name it, something.
So those bottles of tequila are sounding better and better every
So
time.
that's the thing. Get something that the guests will appreciate. Remember the wedding buy, but also practical and not be heavy and have to lug it home. So there's so many things you could do, and even get creative too. There's some things that maybe I didn't even think of, but you might. So something creative, something nice, cute. That again, theme is very important. We always say it on the podcast. Theme is everything. The overall vibe. You're not gonna get, I don't know, an espresso cup at an Alice in Wonderland wedding. It wouldn't, or maybe, but
You could.
it could.
I'll find a way.
It could play in that, but again, get something that just makes sense for your wedding, that your guests will be like, huh, I really like that. I didn't think of it. Or, hey, that's so practical. Why didn't I think of it? And I've seen so many things, you name it, but again, practicality is key. and make sure it makes sense and that you're okay with it, because you have to buy numerous and decide if it's per person or per family.
Yeah.
Because that can make a big difference too. Like if it's per person, well, you have to, like usually if it's per person, like you get something smaller, nothing too big. Like I've seen a wedding, it was per person they're like macaroons wrapped. There's like 2 macaroons, the wedding color, that were wrapped in a little box. It was so cute.
Yeah.
It was so elegant. I'm like, you can actually eat it on your way home.
On your way home, yeah.
Like I wouldn't mind. And they got it at a bakery, like they got I don't know how many of them, and they just put it in, and that was
Why not?
it was that simple, and
Works.
it was practical, and everyone ate it literally. I saw them all, and they all ate it. So I'm like, hey, didn't go to waste. So that's one thing I would recommend.
I guess those almond candies are going out of
I haven't seen
God.
those in
Yeah,
a
in
long
30 years.
time.
I remember
You'd break your tooth on that.
I remember my aunt got married in
Uh-oh.
'89, and
Oh, before I was born.
it came out of the church. My grandparents and the aunts were throwing them at her.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Get one in the head.
Yeah,
They hurt. They
I
hurt.
hurt, man.
I think one of the weddings that I went to when I was a child, they have it wrapped in the little
The little,
So I
tool.
was bored at the table, so I unwrapped it and I ate it. It was
tried to
so
eat
hard.
it, yeah.
I almost broke my tooth, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is false
And it's
advertising.
the biggest choking hazard in the
Yeah,
world.
it
It's
is
so,
very dangerous.
but back in the day, communions, confirmations, birthday, they all had it. Like I'd see it everywhere. The almonds covered in that whatever
Yeah, it's
coating.
But those are weapons. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
they
they're
are.
weapons.
You can literally-
you can lose an eye.
You can lose an eye. Fish. It's
Imagine
dangerous.
poof. You have
You
a
can
patch
literally-
on.
you
I'm gonna
can-
hit by an almond.
That's what happened to you when I was at a wedding.
An
I
almond.
was at a wedding and they decided to just fucking
Fucking
throw.
whip
Roll
me an
them
a pink almond.
They killed one of the doves and they fucking
Oops.
injured 4 family
Oopsie-daisy.
members.
My grandmother went skating across 6 almonds. Like, you know what I mean? It's like,
And it just came to mind. I saw this online that some weddings I've seen, depends on wedding, they give it's like a pack of seeds that you could grow. It's like a little like.
I thought you were gonna say to feed the
No,
birds.
no,
Oh,
no.
Jesus Christ!
No, not to feed
Imagine
the-
that picture.
No, but I've seen it again. It doesn't suit for every wedding. But if you're doing the type of wedding, like you could always have like a little pack of seeds or whatever, or
That's
love
nice. I
grows.
like that.
Like you could play that into it. So there's so many things you could do.
You have to be creative.
That's the thing.
Have there been, like, out of the weddings you've done this summer, let's
Yeah.
say, any venue that caught your eye that you said, oh, this was the first time here, nice, or anything cool? I mean, I'm just saying, I had a wedding at a place where I've played 1,000,000 times.
Yeah.
But the bride and groom were insane when it came to food.
Okay. It was,
Like,
yeah.
I've done a lot of weddings. I've eaten a shit ton
I
of
was
food.
gonna, yeah.
The amount of food that was at this wedding, I have never seen
The
before.
wedding up to now, because my season is not done, because this year I feel like it doesn't go till December.
Yeah.
So it's just it is
Yeah,
what it
let's
is.
keep
I
going,
accepted
yeah.
it,
Uh-huh.
and it's all good. The wedding I did in July after my wedding at the, not gonna name names, but at the venue I did at, they ordered so much food.
How come you don't want to name name?
Oh, it was the Cardinal. It was really
Oh,
good.
the Cardinal. Yeah, okay.
It was
Yeah,
a
very nice.
beautiful.
Beautiful
It's the
venue.
first time I did a wedding here.
Yeah.
Stunning and everything, and the food was insane. They did a good job on the selection. Like they went all out, and that venue has that option, because some venues, like my wedding, right, they don't have an option for the midnight buffet. They
Yeah.
don't have the space. I don't think, I could be wrong, but
Yeah.
they don't. I don't think offer that. Again, could be wrong. They could change things, but I know the Cardinal, they had that option for the midnight station, and it was really nice. There's a lot of food. Trust me. There was a lot of food. So that one caught me off guard. I didn't expect her to. I knew I saw it on the list, but you're reading like, oh, okay. But when you see her, you're like, whoa, like this is a lot of food.
No, like on
It was worth it.
Saturday, I saw like a fresh taco stand.
Ooh, that
I
sounds
saw
good.
a lobster stand. I saw 2 different shrimp. Everyone has a particular guy making it.
Okay.
Making
So it's like
this is all
okay,
live. Like
that's-
a guy making tacos
that's
live.
nice.
A guy serving you
You know what I want to
lobster.
see about live? I want to see this, and I seen this in the States, like on TikTok again.
Yeah.
I should stop going on that. Anyways, I have to stop. It's unhealthy when I'm watching Vampire Diaries, so that's always fun. But to prove the point, it's like cannolis that they make on the spot.
On the spot, yeah.
So like you're on the dance floor and they make Piper Fresh
Yeah.
cannoli. Like they're walking around, and I think there's one. I forget. I don't know where I saw it. I think I just Googled it, but there's not many. So if
I think the
anyone-
Madison does it. The Madison
Oh,
group.
probably.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that yet, but that's so cool.
They
on-
do live shish taouk
Nice.
on the spot.
Yeah, they had that too at the wedding. They had shish taouk there. They had mini burgers. You name it. They had so much food in that wedding.
This is all in the hors d'oeuvres. This is not even. There was.
Oh, this was the
all of
this was the
just
midnight.
Before.
Yeah.
No, this is before the wedding. They had octopus.
Oh, cocktail.
Cocktail.
Yeah, the
They had
cocktail hour.
octopus.
I love
They had
octopus.
tartare,
Ooh.
sushi and steak.
Oh, that sounds good.
Sorry, they had salmon and steak tartare, sushi. Oh my god!
That's good. That's a good
Like
selection.
this is all
Yeah.
with it. Like it was in. Of course, the
Yeah.
you know the charcuterie.
Yeah,
fucking
we had that
forever.
too at the wedding at the charcuterie station. They had mini burgers, you name it. They had mini burgers twice, because why not?
Yeah.
Before and after. The main was good. The food I had as a vendor, I was very happy with
course,
that.
yeah.
I'm like,
It's crazy.
every time I do a wedding, I always take a picture of the food. I'm like, huh, that looks
So good.
Like, I love it. And I send it to my parents and husband. I'm like, look what I'm eating tonight. And I just send it on the chat. I'm like, haha, I'm enjoying my food.
I had on Sunday. I had a whole burrata on the cavatellis, like a big ass piece
Dang,
of
they
burrata.
didn't
Oh
mess
my
around.
God.
Chateau Vaudreuil was very. I have to say
Oh,
the
okay, yeah, I did a wedding there. Okay,
food,
nice.
Food is very
yeah.
good.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
so Val,
Yes.
tell us, what song did you pick for your song of the day?
So for first dance song inspiration, I picked "Hanging by a Moment" by Lifehouse.
Oh,
it's very well. It's not
Old.
old-ish. I
I
wouldn't say,
love the
but
word.
it's classic. I find
is,
it's
it is.
not too fast. Again, not too fast, not too slow. It's in the middle.
Yeah.
I always say that. Pick something not too slow where you're gonna fall half asleep. But but it's true. Like you had a long day. You just come back from pictures sweating.
Imagine the guy falls asleep.
And that's the thing. You want something upbeat, but not, okay, again, if it's a specific song that means something
Yeah,
to you that's
yeah.
slow, like Hero for me, just saying. I'm bringing that up again. I'll bring it up forever, huh? I'm just saying, I'm putting it out there. But the point is that if it's something specific that's meaningful to you in your relationship, play it. But I find as a vendor and as a planner, I personally find the songs that have a bit of a beat to it will make the guests more more, they'll want to
Into
stand
it.
up. Yeah,
Yeah.
not just when is the song over. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I think that's important to, again, read the first dance song is, again, very important, but I would say pick something that maybe people know or heard of, because then if you hear a song and you're like, well, what are they saying? Some guests will tune out and they might go to the washroom, but you don't want no one going through the washroom when you're dancing, because then guess what? They'll have to cut through the dance floor.
Yeah, it's true.
Most likely. So pick something that's meaningful to you, but again, that's my advice to you, but yeah.
That's a good song, though.
It is.
Nice
It is a
song.
good song. It is a really good song, honestly. I really do like that one.
I do. I love the words.
I hope I could hear that actually at a wedding.
Here, we'll
Anyone,
play it now.
anyone doing a wedding, just
You guys
play
want to
that
dance?
song.
You guys want to dance?
But
I'll
definitely,
get copywritten.
It's not a waltz.
it's true, huh?
It's not a waltz.
It's
What are
not
you
a waltz, no.
I know it's not a waltz.
And speaking about first dance, I always have to say this: just couples that they take like dance lessons.
dancing? Yeah.
And I don't know how I feel about that. For me personally, I think it's better to go in with to be as natural as possible and not
Step on each other's feet.
and not
You're getting married. You're married.
and not staged, because I never done dance lessons and I'm not the one to do it. But everyone says, "Oh, get that." I'm like, okay, you don't have your dress on in your dance lessons to begin with, because it's probably being altered or whatever. It's somewhere safe. And B, on the wedding day, how you feel in your dance lessons won't be as authentic as your day on your dance, because your wedding can be emotional. Everything's happening.
Yeah.
So that's my advice. A little
Yeah,
bit.
and
because-
the guy really does not want to take fucking dance lessons. I'm just letting you know.
And I'm just saying too, when you're
Have
taking
open bar.
when
Yeah.
when you're taking those dances, it's all great, and I respect that. But at the same time, for me, it's like, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know. Everyone has their opinion, but for me, I feel like
It's not genuine.
in the moment
Yeah.
at your wedding,
Yeah,
you're gonna
I
feel
agree.
it's gonna be a whole different, very different than your dance classes. That's all I'm gonna say. If you want to go for it, go on YouTube. Dance lessons, first dance is cheaper. It's easier. You could play as many times as you want, and it's fine. I'm just saying.
So
That's
do you
all I
have?
have
That's
to
true.
say.
I totally
I
agree.
could be wrong, but teach their own. But I
Now-
had to say what I had to say.
Now my favorite part of the podcast.
Yes.
Because now Val, you're gonna look straight into the camera and give the thought of the day.
So again, the thought of the day from Reddit, again, because I was on Reddit. And it said, basically, I'll paraphrase, says, keep things between you and your spouse when you're planning your wedding, because if you're planning to do something untraditional, like maybe you're getting married at a venue, not a church or a religious place, wherever, you might want to keep that to yourselves before you tell everyone, because everyone's going to be asking you questions and maybe they might not react accordingly. And, sometimes it's too early in the wedding planning process when you're just planning all the emotions. You want to keep some to yourself with the excitement.
I agree.
You don't want to share everything with everyone right away, because then it takes the fun out of the planning.
Streaking.
So that's another thing I saw on Reddit for the advice.
I didn't see that on Reddit. I was just saying.
So definitely,
box.
I think it's important to keep some things, to keep that excitement, and
I
not
agree.
just tell everyone, well, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're doing this, we're gonna have this. A, they're gonna come to the one, they're gonna see what you're doing, and B, you want to keep that excitement between you and your partner, and you don't have to say everything when everyone says, so how's the plans going? How's the wedding going? Like, it's
Good.
no one's, you say, it's whatever you want to say, because again, we talked about this, but too many opinions sometimes could put a damper and really really put off that excitement. And you want to be excited for everyone. You want to have that excitement. Like, you get to live it once. So
Lisa, what's your
I say
idea?
That's
I
my
think.
What's your idea to Val's idea? The thought of the thought.
the thought of thought.
Well, I totally agree. I think you went into this whole thing together, and I
Yeah.
think it should be kept together.
Yeah, you
I
want to keep
believe
it like that.
and you have to have something that's private between the both of you.
You can't
because
just-
that's what makes that moment special.
And you just can't have like everyone know what you're doing. Like the private, originally, I'm bringing back to the last dance. I have to just say that. 'Cause-
Hero.
Yes, but I mean, originally, what I wanted to do was just me and him at the end to dance. That's what I wanted, but then I knew that wasn't gonna happen because people were gonna be there and everything, like the people that are leaving. So I'm like, fine, I could deal with that. But I kept that between me and my husband. I'm like,
you kept that between you and you because you had no idea.
he knew. I told him. I told him because I wanted him to be there, not be talking like with his friends or family.
Yeah.
I didn't have time for that day. I'm like, no, you're gonna be by my side. I don't care.
Dang, skip it.
Like whatever, So that's how I see it. Keep some things,
Sweet.
or
I
to
agree.
you and your partner.
I agree. Thought of the thought of the
Yes.
thought.
Thought of the
the
thought of the
thought.
thought. Well, mine is always a funny thought, and it's. But
no
I am
booze
gonna
involved.
agree
for
with
now.
you. Keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna look fucking stupid when you see the price and you decided not to go with half of the things you said. Prices are not what we think.
Oh
That's
no,
all I'm gonna say.
That's for sure.
Everything
When
is.
you say wedding, when okay, let's say you're a bride,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, a wedding. All of a sudden, it depends who you're talking to, the vendor. But once you hear wedding, it's a whole other.
Yeah, prices are just
a whole
prices.
other playing field, and remember too, you're paying like for service and the quality. So like it.
Yeah,
Again,
but you would never think
No.
chair covers. Oh, those chairs are ugly. Yeah, don't worry,
Don't
babe.
get
We're
me
gonna
started
don't worry,
on
babe.
chair-
We're gonna get chair covers, and then all of a
Don't
sudden
get me
you're like,
started with chair covers.
this is why is it $2,500 on chair
More.
covers? Yeah, of course it could be more. It could be,
course.
but
And
just to say,
no
you don't think of
offense
that.
to chair covers. Again, my pet peeve besides the candles.
Is the check of it.
I cannot, for the life of me, in my heart, like I can't, my brain.
It hurts your heart.
It reminds me of like a 2000 prom at like some random ass hotel in Montreal. Okay, that smells like I don't know what in that hotel.
Yeah.
So or like those movies that you see, it's like, oh, it's prom night. It's like those damn chair covers with the damn freaking velour ribbon.
The velour ribbon in the back. Yeah.
With the little sparkly little rhinestone.
Oh yeah.
And when I see that today, and I'm like, is this like a stock image?
This is yeah.
Like, so again, you do what you want to do. It's just my opinion. I don't want to offend anyone.
Yeah.
But for the love of whoever's up there, just if you don't like the chair, you could either rent chairs. It'll be the same price of chair covers.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, depends the company you're going with. Or B, go with a venue that you like the chairs already. Or if they have different option chairs. More and more venues are getting smarter about that. Because why bring in if they already have it? It saves everyone a hassle.
Yeah.
And it saves confusion. And it saves time overall.
Absolutely.
So chair covers, yes, they are pricey. And remember, it's just a piece of material that goes over a chair.
Yep.
And some chair covers aren't even like, depending the company, but some chair covers aren't washed properly, some have stains. So you have to hide that stain with what? A ribbon.
And you know what?
Yeah.
They're fucking annoying when you can't put your legs underneath
And yeah,
the
you
chair.
can't sit properly because
Right?
you're like floating.
Yeah,
on
or
the
you're
damn
slipping.
thing. Yeah.
Those lycra ones that you
Oh my
slip
goodness.
off.
You get up to
And
go
I
to the bathroom.
always and I always
Swan
recommend
dive.
I always tell my clients, pick a venue. A, you really like the chairs. B, the chairs go with your theme. or if the venue has like different options.
Yeah.
Like let's say if they're a bigger venue, they have, let's say, 2 options. Fine. You don't have to rent chair covers, don't have to rent chairs. Because chair covers and chairs are literally gonna be the same price at the end of the day. So you do you, but chair covers, I personally
You do you, but don't fucking get chair
But
covers.
whatever you do, if there's one thing you do when you're planning your venue is ask, what type of chairs do you cover? What type of chairs do you have already? And the majority of them, some are banquet chairs, depends. Some are the Chivari gold chairs, hopefully, or the wooden ones. So it depends on your theme. Ask the venue, do you have chairs already? Are these only the only chairs?
Yeah.
Ask the questions
Absolutely.
right,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, we don't want to get disappointed. A planner doesn't want to see chair covers anymore with the velour ribbon and the little rhinestone.
Yes.
Or candles,
Makes
that matter.
sense.
Always informative on Wedding Chimes with
Yes.
Val. That's amazing,
What it
amazing,
is. That's
amazing.
what it is. No velour.
So
No velour.
guys, till the next one. That was
Yes.
awesome. That was very informative. It's always good to know all these tips, especially for
Tips
weddings.
and advice.
Where can we find us?
We're on Spotify,
Yes.
Apple Podcasts,
Yes.
Instagram, Facebook.
And on this sofa.
We're
could-
everywhere.
And you know
Almost
what?
everywhere.
You could sign up and subscribe on every single one of those platforms.
Yes.
YouTube, Spotify.
Yes,
Just sign up
YouTube too.
everywhere. Because in case you want to see beautiful ladies, you can watch it. If you just want to listen in the car about
On your ride home.
on your
Yeah.
ride home about
In the
what
traffic.
song
Yes,
she's gonna pick
in the traffic, that is true.
in the shower. You want to listen to a chair cover talk. You never know. You never know.
Shower.
So funny.
But just do it. Just
You
do it.
could.
Just listen to us. You won't
Yes.
regret it.
Thanks,
Just
guys.
do it. Do it.
Do it.
Do
And
it.
you know what? Coming up shortly, we will have some specialized guests coming on.
Yes.
So that's pretty good.
Coming
That's going to
up,
be fun.
Very, very.
Specialized guests.
Well, guests that are in the business that
In the
they
industry,
they,
yeah.
they can talk about a particular
Their specialty.
their specialty, right?
That's
It
the
could
word
be
we're
chair
looking for.
covers.
They're connaissance.
Oh my goodness, those chair covers.
Have a good week, guys.
Bye. Thanks for chiming in.